the Crypt Keeper of Creepy, the provocative prince of the tweens, the nightmare from Neptune. It's Zabujard!
Hey. Hey guys, it's Jer. My father was a bit of a drunk and a fiend. I'm still a tiny bit sick, but I'm mostly fine, I think, but still a tiny bit sick. I feel like I don't do anything anymore. I think because I'm getting older and because we're so close to the end of the world that I'm not as interested in video games or music or anime or YouTube videos. I spend most of the day sitting in this chair, feeling bored, but I don't want to do anything, so I'm just sitting in the chair and looking at around my room, looking at the walls and the ceiling. I just haven't felt the same way about video games since I broke my computer mouse. And now I've bought over 16 or 17 mice. And none of them feel right like my old one did. I don't know why. I've bought every kind of mouse you can imagine, but they don't feel right. And I've been trying to think of a hobby besides sitting in the chair. But remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, if you guys remember, I was obsessed with taking a bath. I really wanted to buy a tiny bathtub. And I have a tiny bathtub kind of already. But I haven't used it for baths, and I haven't really been thinking about baths as much as I was last month. Last month, all I could think about was baths. And I never took one. I haven't taken one in years. But the idea of baths, I love. And I was so bored last month, I wanted to sit in a bath and spend my day sitting in a bath instead of sitting in a chair. And I think that's what my brain was trying to get through to me last month. My spirit was trying to get through to me. But then this month, I don't think about baths at all, really. This month, I've been thinking about jungle gyms, building a gym in my room. This is gonna sound crazy, but let me explain. I know I said I just don't want to do anything, but there is kind of one thing I want to do, but it's not really possible. Let me explain. Do you remember the Tower of Babel from the Bible? I want to rock climb or tower climb up the side of a never-ending, infinitely tall, gigantic tower and spend my whole life climbing up a giant, beautiful tower thing. Or, kind of like a cliff, but it's a tower. I know. That's a little kind of impossible. This is the other thing I wanted to do. Make some sort of a gym in the backyard with metal poles or ropes. And I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buy a rope. And I'm not gonna noose myself with it. I'm gonna try to build a gym. Because I want to climb a rope. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but ever since I was a sperm, I used to like to climb things, and I'm a really good climber when I was a kid. And I think even to this day I'm probably a professional climber. But maybe not as good as when I was a kid, because now that I'm an adult, I get tired easily and I get exhausted easily. I'm what you'd call quote-unquote out of shape. I can't even chase the puppy around without running out of breath and having to sit down.
When the low, heavy sky
Anyways,
like a lid on the spirit,
the third thing I thought of yesterday was if I could just put the ropes and the bars all around my own room and put the metal bars around my room I thought of yesterday, and turn my room into a metal zoo cage, like the cages you see at the zoo with the monkeys who play on the metal bars. Which is strange, because I guess maybe I'm a sort of monkey type creature, because I don't feel like I would like to be stuck in a metal cage so I can play on the metal bars and things. Here's the thing I thought of today. Metal bars are a pain to set up. My sister won't let me nail them into the walls, I reckon. But I thought of this today as well. Instead of metal bars, ropes. Imagine my room. You've seen it in my videos. Imagine my room with ropes going everywhere. No walking allowed in my room. If you want to get from the door to my bed, you're going to have to climb over the ropes. Climb through the ropes. It's a rope obstacle course. And you're invited. And there'll be no walking in here, just roping. And think of it like the spider's web. That would be my room as a spider. And you know what? I'm kind of like a spider, because spiders are solitary hunters. But they're solitary. And I've been solitary for a long time. I know you guys know that. I've always been single and things like that. So you guys have probably noticed that I'm kind of like a spider. And I like to climb, and I think exercising with ropes all day would be a better use of my body and my time compared to sitting in a chair doing nothing. If you think back to the old Christian monks and martyrs and saints, there was one saint that I liked, maybe even loved. And he spent his whole life sitting on top of a giant pole, like a pillar. And people would bring him food and water and things and throw it up to him. And he spent his whole life on top of this pillar as a Christian saint, monk person. I'm like that guy. I'm not like that guy. But I'm kind of like that guy if you imagine instead of a pillar, it's a chair. Because I'm sitting on this chair all the time. But I'm not as powerful as him. Nowhere, not even close. That guy was amazing. But I would, I'd just like to climb on things. If I just had a giant tower I could climb on. I'm still a little sick from 3 or 4 weeks ago from Disneyland. And from the coom trails that they spray in the sky that get everyone sick. I'm sure that probably has something to do with it too. That's why I don't like going outside as much anymore, because you look up in the sky and you see all the poison And so it doesn't feel good to be outside when there's poison everywhere up in the clouds and the sky. I don't like being poisoned, but that's hell for you. And that's where we were born into, and that's where we are right now. I call this Hell 2.0. In case you didn't know, not as bad as Hell 1.0, which is directly below us. Heaven is physically directly above us. And I call this place Hell 2.0 or Hell 0.5, but I think 2.0 is just easier to say, so I just call it that. And it's almost over, it's almost done, the world is almost destroyed and done, trust me. I watch a lot of Saturday Night Live because I think it's funny. I know that's cringe, but a lot of the skits they did tonight were mocking God and Christ, the Father and the Son, right? They were mocking God. And the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all God. I know that kind of tricks a lot of people, or that kind of, what's the word, that confuses people. But as far as I know, I that's how I understand it. It's kind of like three sides of a triangle. Well, still a triangle. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyway, they were mocking God and Jesus. Of course, they always mock Jesus. They don't mock any of the other religious figures or prophets or people like that. You know, they're not mocking Buddha or Joseph Smith or the Moon Crescent boy, who I'm not going to name, who will be used as Satan's army to behead everyone. But they always mock Jesus. They did tonight. They had a Christmas skit where they had Jesus dressed up in a American flag. So there you go. Oh, you know, I saw something crazy tonight on Twitter. I'll leave a pickup. I'll save the picture because you guys, it's crazy. You guys gotta see this. They've got the symbol on the dollar bill has a big like star shape on it, and this star shape is the molecular pattern of GRAPHENE, graph, you know, and then the other "ene" part, which they put into everyone's bodies, right, a couple years ago. And it's the exact same shape as the molecule of graph is the symbol on our American dollar bill. It's crazy that, it's just so wild. You know, it's like when, like, Isaiah was writing about the birth of Christ 700 years before Christ was born, you know? They made this dollar bill, like, a long time ago, and they put all these gay symbols on it. And then boom, you know, 2022, we got that molecule on our dollar bill, and people got it in their bodies now. It's crazy, man. How everything like goes to prophecy, you know, or it goes to God's plan, or in this case, the devil's plan that he's planned for a long time, right? This whole world has been one big long script for a really long time. You know, when you're spelling out words, you're sentencing people to your spell. Okay, you add an S to word, and you got a sword. You got a sword. You add an L to word, and you got a world. You know, and anyway, pray for me, pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for my family, pray as much as you can, because these are the times to pray, seriously, because not much time left. So pray as much as you can. That's all my advice, really. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think maybe I'm bored, or I don't know what's going on. Just don't do anything now anymore. I still make cartoons sometimes, and I like making cartoons, I think, but that takes a lot of energy to make the cartoons sometimes, so I just kind of half-ass them a lot of the time. And ever since I made 1,000 games, I kind of stopped making games because I just wanted to get to the 1,000 mark. And now I'm not really as motivated to keep making games. So I've already made 1,000 more than anyone else has in history, okay? So, and they're all, a lot of them aren't very good games, but they're games nonetheless, you know? But I like calling my friends, but I feel like I'm bugging them if I keep calling them every day to talk. Because I like calling my friends, but I don't want to bug them. So I didn't call them today. You know, I don't have any friends where I live, of course. So I'm alone here. I don't have friends in my city or anywhere near my city, really. I guess I could go on one of those friend meeting websites and try to meet friends in my town or something, you know. That might be a good idea, making friends in your town. Might be a good idea to have friends to hang out with in real life or something, you know, instead of being by yourself all the time. If you had friends in your town, you could hang out with your friend. I don't, you know, but it might be hard to make friends at age 31. A lot of people my age are working or dating or married or busy with whatever, you know. When you're 31, a lot of guys your age are watching the football game every night, and I don't like sports. I think they're gay, and I mean that in the worst possible way. So I don't know, you know. Nothing really matters at this point except praying and getting saved and getting close to the Lord. And that's what's really always mattered, and saving other people too. There's a verse I read today in Ezekiel, I think, which said that, like, you know, if you saw a sword coming and you didn't warn people that the sword was coming, then their blood is on your hands to the Lord or something like that. I'm not kidding. So what that verse means is, if you saw a warning coming, if you saw the end coming, you need to warn others. And I'm doing that on here. But when I was in rehab a few years ago, a guy, you know, everyone was getting forced to take the liquid in their body. And this one nice guy, I didn't really warn him not to do it, and he got it done, and he got it into his body. And I should have warned him, but I didn't, because a lot of people at the rehab had the liquid in their bodies, and the owner of the rehab was, if he found out you didn't have the liquid in your bodies, he would call you selfish and things like that. And so I just told everyone I had the liquid in my body, even though I didn't. Of course, I would never get that disgusting poison into my body. And if you have it, then just pray for healing, obviously. You'll be fine. Well, probably. But, but I didn't warn this guy. And then I read that verse in Ezekiel today, and I'm thinking, oh, jeez. Should have warned that boy. But a few years ago, if you warned people about the liquid, a lot of them would think you were a little cuckoo. You know, even today, when I warn people that the world's gonna end, they don't always believe me. They think maybe I'm not correct. Maybe I'm not, you know, whatever. So it's just a little vulnerable to warn others, but you have to do it. It's just something you should do. And you have to warn them to accept Christ, because if not, they're going to hell. Anyways, that's the truth. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I guess it's the weekend now. And I'm trying to think of hobbies here, but I can't, besides climbing a giant tower. But I guess I can do it in my mind. But that's all I can think of. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. God bless you and your family. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, and keep watching the cartoons. Bye.
Now it's time to have a snuggle with my very best friend in the whole wide world. You. Well, I'm glad you could come over. See you soon. Bye. And the clown jumped over the moon.